Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Yes, here we are. Look, the magic of the cinema or a TV station, I'm not sure what. Jim over here and Todd right over there. It's great.
And our wonderful producer in her VIP suite, Lisa Gray.
There she is.
Hello.
Yes, we are back once again. Show number 175. Can you believe that? And we kept this satellite flying above the Earth so that Todd can join us remotely from Bakersfield, California.
Which is on nobody's bucket list in the whole world, unless you're a country music fan and it's a 50-50 shot.
Country music. I didn't know that.
Country music, that's a great, you know why that's so nice, Lisa?
Huh.
When you play a country song backwards, you get your dog back, you get your wife back, you get your house back. It's wonderful.
I have to remember that. I might need to use that.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. For show number 175, look at this topic. Strategies to inspire real estate agents this spring selling season. We are in spring and we are into the selling season. So we are going to give you the strategies that you need to go take a listing today.
And this topic right now is more important than ever. I'm actually out here looking at apartment buildings, looking at houses. So I get a feel for, or I've been getting to feel the last 3 weeks for the mindset of real estate agents, what they're doing, what they're not doing. So this ties in perfectly.
That I'm very excited to hear more about that. How do you feel the mindset is overall? Because really spring season is a time where most agents are really excited, right? It's the highest season of the year for selling statistically. But I think agents, many of them are probably still in kind of a little bummer of a state because of what we've been going through over the last couple of years, you know, the high interest rates and the low inventory. So that's why I thought this is a fun topic, because we can kind of get people enthused and excited.
Definitely.
Do they need some enthusiasm? Are you finding that to be true?
Yeah, it's they're going through frustration. You know, they've as we know, a lot of them have hit pause on their marketing. Yeah, and there's a lot of price reductions out there.
Yeah.
You know, interest rates. So there's a lot of interesting variables that kind of it's like getting kicked in the gut, and it's So some of them are getting out of the business, but I think it comes down to what we're going to talk about today, and also the skill set. The skill set will give them the confidence to go out and make it happen. If you don't have that skill set, prospecting wise, presentation wise, then you're going to be like a sheep.
True.
And,
and things to get you excited too. There's all kinds of, we have a bunch of ideas here to get you excited.
So many ideas. Let's start with some ways that real estate agents can generate enthusiasm for the new spring season through some creative approaches. How about this creative approach? Attending some industry events.
You know, for many agents, they probably feel like, oh, been there, done that. I don't want to do that anymore. But just getting around your peers, specifically people that maybe you're not used to being around very often. You know, in your local market, maybe you run into the same people all the time. But if you get yourself into another environment where there's some industry event going on, maybe it's out of state, somewhere new, a different city, a little further away, you get stimulated by new ideas, new minds, new people. And this is all about getting you excited, getting you in the right frame of mind to have a great season.
Huge, because a lot of people that are working on an island, right? Some companies, you know, you're working out of your house, but industry events are so key because maybe you have some uncertainty, and then you go to an event and run into an old friend, and that friend has excitement and enthusiasm. So I love what you just said, because that will catch on. And the more you go to those events, you're going to get more excited and more enthusiasm. And that's going to rub off on you.
Right. Any type of workshop or training. And I know that these types of things fall into the laps of agents. I mean, I'm sure in their inbox, it's full of all kinds of workshops, networking events, training sessions. Even if your office has some type of training session, and maybe it's even for the newer agents, why not step into that if you can, if you're allowed in for a day or two, just to get inspired. You know, Todd, you've told a story about when you started out as an agent, you kind of hit the ground running. I think many agents do that. They're really, the momentum is there, and they just explode into the market. And suddenly they're getting more listings than anyone else. And a lot of that is excitement, inspiration, and momentum. And just being around new agents can be very inspiring, because you can kind of get a little bit of that that taste for somebody who they haven't been beat down beat down a lot yet, so they're in a really great.
They will
frame
be beat
of mind.
down soon. Yes.
Yes. Get them before they're beat
2 or 3
down.
months.
Right.
Get them before they're beat down. No, it's true though. It's nice to be around people that have a great attitude. It's like as you get older, when you're around younger people, they kind of see that perspective shift is a valuable thing.
Right. Exactly true. Well, how about this idea? Explore some new neighborhoods. You've been working the same old farm area year after year after year. Maybe the houses are getting a little old, especially if you worked that for like 20 years. There are probably some new houses around somewhere that you can go into and maybe make that a new market. How would you do that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Go ahead, Todd.
Well, I was going to say, so I've been looking at some areas here, right? And I sold real estate in this town 20 years ago. And there are some unique pockets of some places were built in the 70s, some were built in the 90s.
Right.
But they're areas where people have just like, oh, here's where the trend is going. So we're all going to go here. But there are little pockets of communities where builders did incredible things. Like this one I looked at, gated community, every single house, their backyard is on this lake. So you could have paddle boats or canoes, also electric motors. I think about that unit or that development, and there's like 30 to 50 houses in there. That would be great for someone just to say, I'm going to lock onto that.
Right.
Like nobody's business, because it's on most people's, it's not on their radar.
Right. You have to open your mind. Another idea is visit open houses in different areas. Again, get into those neighborhoods you're not used to going in, travel a couple cities over and look at what open houses are on the calendar for that weekend and go and check them out. Just again, this is all about new perspective, new way of looking at things, something to really get you stimulated and excited.
Love it.
All right. What about our next idea? Get creative with your marketing. Now, how about, this isn't taking new listings, but let's say you have a few listings on hand and they aren't moving. Maybe you need to update those listings that have snow on the ground. You can update them with some photos showing the fresh flowers that are out now. That's
a great idea.
Well, speaking of photos, can I share something?
Please do.
As I've been looking, and I looked here while I was in around Christmas, New Year's, it is shocking to me. And I show my assistant, who's my mother, that let's say we're going to go drive by on a Saturday, let's say 10 homes. Well, you look at Zillow and you want to drive by the outside, but see the inside from your phone, right? Photos.
Right.
It's so shocking in a market like this. Some places just have 2 photos, and there's trucks in the driveway, and then you look at one might be inside, and it's all cluttered, and you're thinking, wow, you're going to compete in this market like that,
right?
Where somebody else has their place crystal clean. They made their consumers get crystal clean, declutter. So that's not rocket science, but that's maybe laziness or not being trained or just too excited. Here, I got listing. Let's throw it out there.
And don't forget about the inside photos as well.
Right.
If you've got photos that were taken right after the furniture was removed and the carpet, you can see exactly the outline. It's like a crime scene. You see the outline of where all the furniture was. And
crime scene.
They've replaced the carpet in the meantime, and you didn't bother to update the photos. So you might want to do that because you're going to get more people walking in the door.
Right. I love that idea. I mean, really, statistically, it's proven that people looking at a home to buy, they look online. That's what they do. And if they don't like what they see online, they're not going to drive by. So if you have any listings that are a little stale, get back in there, take a look at, try and see the listing with fresh eyes. Ask somebody, a friend, a family member, somebody, look at this listing and tell me what your first feeling is. What's your gut reaction when you see this listing? And maybe you need to get back in there and get some new photos. I mean, what have you got to lose?
That's so smart what you just said, and most agents don't do that. And another strategy that I'm seeing out here people are using is they'll take the listing off the market for 3 or 4 weeks and then put it on like it's brand new.
Right.
Just to refresh it, maybe make some changes, a little bit of price.
Right.
Yeah,
new photos.
Yes, you've got to get creative in this market to separate yourself, because it's challenging. You've got to work for it now. I mean, it will get amazing again and get easy again, but right now it seems challenging. So these ideas, pick 1 or 2 of them that you like and really get inspired to go out there and make it happen.
Right.
And also, if you want to add a little more pizzazz and excitement around a listing you may have, how about some new flyers or brochures to advertise your existing listing? In fact, Lisa,
yes,
I'm pretty sure the sponsor of today's show, ProspectsPLUS.com, might offer flyers and brochures on their website.
Yes, they do.
Nice.
They have mailed. You can have them shipped to you. There's all kinds of varieties of property flyers we have. We have the new Market Dominator trifold newsletter that you can highlight the whole back of the newsletter with a featured property or a bunch of sold or listed properties. There's a lot of different options for you in various sizes, all the way from standard postcard up to a 12 by 15 exclusive Market Dominator. So there's a lot of things that you can do to really stand out and get some cool stuff in front of the eyes of your market.
And 90% of your competition is not doing anything like that.
No. And there are affordable ways to do it too. Get on ProspectsPLUS.com. There's every level of affordability for you. So really get in there and look at it. Even if you decide to just download, put a property flyer together, pay the $19 for the download. Now you've got the download, and as needed, you can print out 10, print out 20 of them on your printer. I mean, does it get more affordable than that? If you're saying, no, shoestrings are too tight, I can't do any marketing, that's a way to be able to at least get going and do some marketing.
I love it. And everybody knows the show Pickers, right? Where they go out there and negotiate. Yes. I was watching it a week ago, and the gentleman talked about how they started that show. And guess how they started? With one flyer. One flyer.
Oh, really?
And so he showed it. He held it up. He goes, this is how we started. And the flyer says, here's what we're looking for. Here's what we're willing to do. And it had so no matter where they went, whether he said anywhere, whether it's an old country store, whether it's a gas station,
they'd hand it out.
He goes, this flyer helped us build this business.
Yeah.
We always had it on us so think about a realtor having some materials that pass out. Maybe it's a flyer on the best right price listing in your office or for you.
Right.
I mean, have something to always, no matter where you're going, right? You're doing guerrilla marketing. Take it into the restaurant, leave it here.
Right. You're right. If you had a stack and everywhere you go on errands in a 7-day period of time, you have one with you or a few with you, and you say, hey, do you mind if I leave a couple of these behind? Every place that you go, I mean, think in a month how many you've got scattered around out there, and you never know.
Exactly.
Who's going to be the right person?
Someone's going to pick it up and go, wait a minute. And they might start asking a question. Maybe that one was not their house, but that will lead to a meeting, that will lead to qualifying, that will lead to you selling them a house.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. What about if you collaborate with some other individuals? Do you have any friends? Maybe you want to get with some of them, real estate or not, and talk about some new listing ideas, some ideas to get some listings moving. For example, partner with local businesses for some fancy promotions.
Yeah, if it's maybe it's a new coffee shop, something like that. Go in there. They want to get some, marketing, some promoting of their new business. You want to get some promotion going as well. Maybe there's a way that you can help each other out with that and do some type of event together where you're there handing things out, and I don't know, whatever it could be. Maybe you send it out to your sphere or your farm or people in the area, and that you help draw people into their business, and they help you by allowing you to leave a bunch of your materials behind, going forward.
I love it. And there's so much that people can do there. Like when I was a realtor in the city years ago, we did a mastermind, and we would meet for breakfast at a certain restaurant at 7 a.m. every Friday morning. And it was just other agents that were just what you just talked about, sharing ideas.
Right.
Oh, I never thought about that. You're not sure you're competing, but there's so much business. Right. 8 or 12 people in the mastermind. Anyway, there's magic in that. Like you said at the very beginning, you leave more inspired. You're like, wow, that person's doing this. I got to tighten my game up a little bit.
Right.
And, people that you work with, mortgage brokers, title companies, they always want to do stuff with real estate agents because they want some referrals. Make sure you keep it all legal now, but get with some of them because they might like to do some cooperative marketing with you and share their client base.
Totally. You could do some little events, like a little buyer seminar, a little seller seminar, what has to happen in this market. I mean, that's going to intrigue some people, and they're going to have some questions. So a lot of ways to go there.
The other thing we have now that they didn't have when you and I were selling real estate, Todd, is staging. Both staging, putting furniture in an empty house. They had that to some event, but they certainly did not have the AR staging where they can just pictures now and just throw furniture in there. So get with one of those professionals and see how you can help promote each other.
And that really matters. It goes back to what we talked about earlier. I swear to you, like I looked yesterday on Zillow, there's 2 photos, and once they showed the inside of one place, you can tell it was a rental and they didn't want to bother them. They just took photos and got out, and you're like, wow, not only does a place need to be staged, it needs to be cleaned and then decluttered. I mean,
right. Well, and if you have a situation like that where you have a renter and they've got stuff everywhere and you're not going to really have the ability or authority to say, get your clutter out of my way, I need to take photos because I'm selling this. That would be a great opportunity that maybe you're going to have to show a couple of those photos, but why don't you have an AI staging done? So now you can say, all right, here's the living room and okay, clutter mess, right? But here's a vision of what it would look like with some staging, some virtual staging. And you can go through the house and do that. So at least people can get an idea, right? If you had seen those same photos, but you also saw some AI staging, would have that helped you to be a little bit, a little more inspired to go look at it, probably.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Love it.
Moving on. So you really need some enthusiasm. You need something to get you out of bed this spring. Well, what about thinking of your past successes? Think of some things that worked really good for you when you were really slinging listings around like nobody's business, and realize what you did and try to repeat some of that.
Yeah, I think agents forget sometimes, especially, and I know, Todd, you talk about this all the time. You'll have people working on using the Dominator for a couple of years and they finally say, oh, we've got so much business, I don't need this anymore. And then, 6 months later, they call up, our listings fell off a cliff and we realized it was the Dominator. So I do believe that people forget what they've done when they were successful. And if you do take the time to go back and really thoroughly look at what was going on, look in your planner, try and go back through emails and figure out what was I doing at that time. Or if you do all your purchasing through ProspectsPLUS, go and look at your order history. You can do that. What orders, what things were, what was I sending out at that time when I was busy? I got to go back to that. That's such a great idea.
Right. Even if a real estate agent, which is easy to do for somebody in sales to lose their confidence from time to time, but that's a great assignment for someone to take their journal out, right? A blank journal, and write down, it doesn't have to be real estate, but write down things that you went through adversity that you found an answer and powered through and you came out huge on top. It might be 3, it might be 15, but you got to remind yourself of what you're capable of. And that's going to give you some inspiration to go back out there and say, you know what, I've done this before. Yeah. I do have the tools.
That would actually be a great journal to fill. And then you go and just read through it when you're feeling a little
Could you imagine how strong that would be?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Your own motivational book to read about your successes. Yeah.
Well, speak about motivation. What about goals and goal setting? Now, hopefully we're here in March. You've already started your goals for 2024.
Right.
But you could have spring goals as well.
I love that.
So why not generate some goals? Maybe it's a number of listing appointments. Maybe it's total revenue of closed commissions earned, whatever it is. Come up with some goals and figure out how to achieve them.
Yeah.
I love what you said. And here's the nice thing about that is to not get overwhelmed, a realtor could make it as simple as a weekly goal. Yeah. Meaning, okay, I'm going to contact X amount of potential sellers. They can make a 90-day impossible goal and say, I'm going to put every ounce of who I am into this 90-day goal. And then at the end of it, I'm going to reevaluate. So yeah, short-term goals are incredible. It's challenging when you go way out there because the mind can't even go 2 years, 10 years. Sometimes.
Yep. And then once you have those goals, break them down into actionable steps. Make sure that you've kind of reverse engineered it and said, all right, if I want to hit this revenue or this amount of listings in the next 30 days, all right, I have to work backward from this. And, we have ProspectsPLUS online has a free one-page business plan that you can go.
That's one of my favorite tools we have.
Yeah, you can plug in the numbers. It's one page. It's super easy. There's only, I think, 5 numbers that you need that you definitely would have. You don't have to dig deep to find, and it will help you determine how many calls do I have to make this week on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. How many people do I have to connect with to get this amount of listing appointments and listings, and of course, then close sales. So definitely know those action steps. Anytime you make a goal and you don't have the action steps to it, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to quit right away. That's like saying, I want to lose 20 pounds. But not having a plan of how to do it. You're going to be frustrated in a week. You're just going to give up.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
How about looking for some local education, some local workshops, maybe even some coaching? So I believe that pretty much every board of realtors has recurring training programs that people can go to, different things. They send out emails saying, here's this event. They're probably free.
Right.
Go attend some of those and see if you can generate some new ideas.
You know, it's so interesting because a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that." But it's like what Tony Robbins always said and always told us. He said the people that are the best in the world at their profession will always be sharpening the axe. He even told us when I worked for him, he goes, "I will go to seminars, sit in the first row." So he would go to a seminar that he didn't know a subject on. If people were like, "Wait, what is Tony Robbins doing in the front row?" They're like, "Oh, be a student of life. Do not get to the point where you think you've arrived."
Right. And minimally, at least get a couple books, a couple motivating books. You can go on Google and you can type in, what are the top 5 motivational books for 2024 or 2023 if you want to go back and find out the award winners for the year. And go grab those books from the library if you don't want to buy them, or you can put them on Kindle for pretty cheap as well.
I heard one of those books is called Become a Listing Legend.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
that's a good. If you can get your hands on it, I'm hearing it's out of stock everywhere.
It's on back order.
Yeah.
I went to my Barnes and Noble here, and they're like, "Oh yeah, everybody, we got.
We can order it for you. We can order it for you." Is that what they said?
The last time we got a shipment, they were standing outside the store at 1 a.m. waiting to get in.
Oh yeah, it was worse than a Cabbage Patch doll.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You can even listen to motivating podcasts.
Such as?
I do that. Oh, yeah, such as ours. But, there are podcasts just about the subject of motivation. In addition to ours, which is fantastic, there are some that are just on human psychology and how to get motivated and how to attain goals and that type of thing. Listen to those as well. You can go on YouTube and find, there's a bunch of different motivational channels on YouTube that have these really great speeches you can watch that'll get you so pumped up in the morning. If you watch one every morning before you head out the door, you'll be in the perfect frame of mind.
That's why you're always pumped up when you come in here. Is that it?
That's
nice.
it. That's
excellent.
Yes, I think YouTube is one of the greatest resources that we have.
Gosh, unbelievable.
It's free. You can learn so much stuff about your phone, about your car, it's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
I was digging in about a month ago, and I saw a black and white of Colonel Sanders. He was on a game show, and you're thinking, wow. YouTube's incredible. It's magical. You can find a lot of great speakers, some of the best.
You really can. You really can. It's incredible. In fact, at times what I've done is I've heard about a really great book that I know I want to read, and I just don't have time. I'll go on YouTube, type in the name of the author, name of the book, and you'll find them being interviewed or speaking about it. And you can really, in 20 minutes, get the whole crux of the book from listening to their interview that they had with somebody else or some speaking engagement. Many times they've done a TED Talk on it, and you can just listen to that. And actually, you can listen to YouTube in your car, too. I've done it.
The modern version of Cliff Notes.
And now you save some money. You don't have to buy the book now.
Yeah. I do that all the time. Actually, you can do that with the podcast, too. If there's a book you really want to read, go type in the author's name into the podcast search. Let's say you have an Apple phone and you're in the Purple podcast app. Type in the search the author's name and the name of the book, and you will find, because anybody who releases a book, they're going to have a bunch of interviews and PR they've done to promote the book. And you'll find them talking about the book all over the place. Listen to a couple of those and you really get inspired and understand what they're talking about in the book. So there are a lot of ways to go about this.
Nice. And how about coaching? There's still coaches out there. In fact, Floyd Wickman's group does coaching for real estate professionals, and sometimes it's nice. It's like having a trainer at the gym. They make you actually show up and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Accountability, and think about if even some people can't afford coaching. If you can't afford it, find somebody in your office who's as hungry, motivated, plays with integrity as you, and you guys become accountability partners.
Right.
So you're inspiring each other, but yes, the best in the world have a coach. You go to the NFL, you have a coach. The best in the world,
they really do
that.
And have multiple coaches. Some of them will have more than one. Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on. How about this brilliant idea? Connect with some of your past clients.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Schedule some face-to-face meetings with them. See what's up. Maybe they know a friend who wants to buy or sell. Maybe they're ready for a new house. Who knows until you talk to them.
Right.
some of our great market dominator agents do this, and what they'll do is just periodically do drop-bys. And if the people aren't there, they'll leave whatever gift or info or something, and it's very non-threatening, gentle.
Right.
So they use that strategy.
Client appreciation events. A lot of people have no idea what that is, but ProspectsPLUS.com has things on there for those events, right?
Yep.
And they give you ideas.
Yep.
All right. And keep informed. That's very important. Keep up to date with market trends and developments. And of course, subscribe to those industry newsletters and publications and actually read them when they show up in your mailbox.
Exactly. And stay informed of the area that you're farming or you're marketing. Know your market stats, know the time on the markets, know what percentage close to sales price do you get. So have 4 or 5 type bullet points that your competition does not on a couple great areas.
Right. I agree.
And you can stay informed by attending webinars, online seminars, and watching the Take a Listening Today podcast with Jim, Todd, and Lisa.
Yes.
Watch it over and over. Yes.
You know what? We've done so many shows, you could probably watch it all day long and you'd have a full 24 hours of shows.
Oh,
You'd be so
true.
inspired. You'd be so inspired by the time you're done.
Perhaps a little mentally what's the word I'm looking for? Incapacitated. That's what I'm looking for.
Mentally incapacitated.
Yes.
Incapacitated. Yes, that could happen.
We don't actually recommend watching 24 hours of the Take a Listening Today podcast.
That might be used in some kind of interrogation.
That could
take a break every now and again. 3 episodes and take a break. The next day, 3 episodes.
Right. Walk outside, get some fresh air. Okay. So in conclusion of today's wonderful show, although creative marketing, attending workshops and events and connecting with peers is wonderful, it will also help you enjoy an exciting spring selling season. So go out there and do it.
Yes.
And here's what's great about what Jim just said. The more fun you have with it, people see that and they want to work with somebody who's fun, who's relaxed, and great spirit. Sure, your outcome. You want to take them to the finish line.
Right.
But come from that place when you're out selling every day.
When we call out to agents, like we're going to do in a few seconds, to get them on the show, to win $100 in our quiz, it's so fun to get somebody on the phone that's inspired by what they do. They're such a joy to talk to. And that's the same way it would be if you're buying or selling a home. Get an agent on the phone that you can really tell they clearly enjoy talking to people and what they do for a living. It really comes across. So do some of the things on this list to get inspired so that you come across that way. It will make a difference in the amount of listings that you get,
It will. Hey, we got some postcards.
Favorite part of our show, right there.
Here?
Yep.
All right. Okay, this is Jenny. Looks like perhaps a custom card. That looks like a very nice,
really
nice deal going on there.
Classy.
Let's call her up, and her number is 214-704-4140.
I'm guessing the state of Texas.
She is in Texas. Your home deserves the finest, the perfect presentation, global exposure. That's very nice.
Debbie, may I help you?
Hey, is this Jenny?
It is.
Jenny, this is Jim, Todd, and Lisa with the Take a Listing Today podcast. We're calling on behalf of ProspectsPLUS.com. Do you happen to know that wonderful company?
Yes.
Well, I'm holding in my hand here. They gave me a copy of a postcard. It's probably one of many that you've sent out for a sold property on Hobart Street.
Yes.
By the way, it's a beautiful card. We just wanted to ask you about your marketing. Is this a campaign you're doing? Is it just on that property? And then we're going to give you a chance to win a $100 gift card for just about anything on our site. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting ready to do a big mail out, so that's what I'm working on now.
Oh wow. Perfect timing.
Nice.
That $100 will come in handy.
How big is a big mail out, Jenny? What's the number?
Well, like 1,100.
Oh, okay.
So now it'll be 1,000.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, that's a
$100
real. Yeah, that's not 100 postcards. I love it. That's strong.
Great. That's great.
What kind of a mailing is that? Is that just a farm area, or are you targeting a specific audience with that?
Targeting seniors.
Very clever. Very clever. Love it.
And I saw your marketing. They have a whole marketing campaign for that, but I kind of have my own template. So I may look at some of your verbiage. But I'm a senior real estate specialist, so I'll be kind of tagging that. So,
Sure.
I'm waiting till the 16th to put it through because I don't want it to go till my next credit card cycle.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Got
smart,
it. Got
smart.
it.
All right.
You can, you know, you
Wait a minute,
can.
when does that cycle? The cycle ends on the 15th. I go, well, then I'm going to wait a couple days.
Well, and you can schedule it too. If you're in there
I
and
just didn't know if I schedule it still goes through on the charge. That's what I didn't know.
Oh, not until it mails. Not until it mails.
Okay,
So you'll.
I could go ahead and turn it in late Friday. It won't. Nothing will happen on Monday.
Yeah, if you have it scheduled to go out on Monday, it won't happen until that mailing goes out. That's when you'll get charged. Correct.
Okay, great. Then I have to wait the weekend to do it, and then get too busy next week to get going on.
Oh
it.
yeah, exactly. That's what I love about being able to schedule mailings like that.
Right. Whatever day you put in there as the scheduled date, that's the day that the charge goes through from Prospects Plus.
Okay.
Oh, and Jenny, because you're on the podcast, before we give you the question and the $100, share with everybody where you're from if they were to get in touch with you, if they had referrals to send your way.
I'm in good old Dallas, Texas.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
The Big D.
And how would they reach out to you? Realtors that are listening to this around the country, how would they reach out to you for referrals?
214-704-4140.
Perfect.
Nice.
Or my email, jenny@jennycaprita.com, but phone number's probably easier.
All right.
Very nice.
Wonderful. Well, Jenny, it's been a pleasure having you on our show today. And as Todd mentioned, we would love to give you a $100 gift card for just about anything on ProspectsPLUS.com. That way you don't have to worry about your next credit card statement so much. But
I will take it.
But before you take it, you have to answer a simple podcast trivia question.
Now, Jenny, he says these are simple, but you could also use Lisa for some help if you need. Sometimes they're not so simple.
Lisa does like to help. And what I will do, Jenny, is read you the question and 3 possible answers. And all you have to do is give me the correct answer. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right. Here is the question. What Minnesota town was actor Winona Ryder born in?
Oh,
That's a tough
Was
one.
it A, Duluth, B, St. Paul, or C, Winona?
Oh, it sounds like it.
See.
That's a trick question.
You're going for C, Winona?
Be good to her. Be good to her.
All right. I hope you know what you're doing. Show me Winona.
Yeah.
Oh!
Who named somebody after a city?
I read it online. I was reading it and I was speechless because I couldn't believe I'm looking it up as she's guessing it. Like, is that for real?
Jenny, that was a great guess. Todd, what does Jenny win today?
Jenny, you're in for a treat. Lisa is going to get you a $100 gift card to use on that next big mailing that you're about to do, and some swag from the Take a Listing Today podcast. And you, just so you know, you got it right on the first time. Sometimes it takes agents 3 or 4 questions to get it right. So
Yeah, congratulations.
Hey, my phone was buried in my purse, so I couldn't even Google it. So that was just totally, why not name your daughter after the town? I thought, why else would there that question be there?
Yeah, I love it. Smart lady.
Why
Smart
not?
lady.
Thank you, Jenny. We appreciate your time today.
Have a great day.
Thank you, guys.
I'll email your $100 over to you. You'll see it in the next 24 hours.
All right. Very nice.
There you go.
I'm going to start calling you Bakersfield.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of syllables.
Bakersfield comes with a lot of association to it, so I might pick a
Yeah.
different
You don't want
city.
that
All
name?
right.
Okay. Todd is better. Simpler.
Well,
It's easier.
Stick with Todd on that one. All right. Well, that was fun. Jenny was a great sport there. She got herself a $100 gift card, and everybody on today's show got to learn how to get some strategies to inspire you in the spring selling season. So hopefully you got something good out of that. Anything else, Lisa?
No, just get out there. Have fun. Find a way to make it fun and get in the right mindset.
Exactly. Todd, anything?
Stay powerful and pick 1 or 2 of those ideas that we went. Don't overwhelm yourself, but pick 1 or 2 and go out and make it happen.
There you go. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.